I have a sample document open. The document contains a title using the title paragraph style, a heading using the heading 1 paragraph style, a heading using the heading 2 paragraph style, a heading using the heading 3 paragraph style, and a list using the numbering 1, 2, 3 list style. I've also included a basic table of contents at the top. The document is using chapter numbering. If you have a more recent version of LibreOffice, this may be called heading numbering. I've turned off index and table shadings so you can see the table of contents more easily. I explain how to do this in other videos. I'll right-click on the table of contents and select Edit Index to show you the paragraph styles used by default in the table of contents. I'll go to the Type tab. For Type, Table of Contents is selected. In the Create From area, Outline is selected. I'll go to the Styles tab. In the Paragraph Styles area, you can see the paragraph styles associated with the table of contents, index, or bibliography dialog. Now I want you to look at the list in the Levels area. These are the items associated with the table of contents. Other levels would be displayed if I had chosen something other than the table of contents for type in the Type tab. Here you can see Title listed. This is the title of the table of contents, not the title of the document text. Contents heading appears in brackets beside title. This means that the title uses the contents heading paragraph style. Similarly, Level 1 is followed by Contents 1. Level 2 is followed by Contents 2, and so forth through Level 10. I'll click Cancel to close this dialog. I'll place the cursor in the table of contents title. Contents heading is highlighted in the paragraph styles area of the sidebar. You can use the paragraph style associated with the individual part of the table of contents to change that part's attributes. I'll right-click on Contents heading in the sidebar and select Modify. This might be called Edit Style in some versions of LibreOffice Writer. I'll go to the Alignment tab. I'll select Center. I'll go to the Font tab. I'll change the font size to 20 points. I'll go to the Font Effects tab. I'll pick the font color, dark blue 1. I'll click OK. The title of the table of contents is now centered and has a color of dark blue 1. I could change the attributes of the listings in the table of contents in a similar way. Now let's look at levels. Levels can be confusing when using LibreOffice Writer because Writer uses the term level in various ways. There are 4 major dialogues that refer to levels. I'll go to the List Styles area in the Styles deck of the sidebar. I'll right-click on numbering 1, 2, 3 and select Modify. I'll go to the Position tab. On the left side of the tab is a list labeled simply Level. It presents 10 different levels. You can use this list of levels to set attributes for the individual levels of the list. There is also a listing 1 through 10 that you can use to set similar attributes in all levels at once. These attributes only affect lists. I'll go to the Customize tab. The same list of levels appears in this tab, allowing you to set additional attributes for these same levels. The levels in the List Style dialog are not related to the levels referred to in other dialogs. I'll click Cancel to close this dialog. Now I'll go to the Paragraph Styles area in the sidebar. I'll right-click on Text Body and select Modify. I'll go to the Outline and List tab. Notice the listing in the outline area that says Outline Level. Beside Outline Level is a drop-down box. I'll click on the down arrow at the right of this box. Here you can choose from a list of levels ranging from level 1 through level 10. This outline level is associated with the table of contents, but the table of contents, index, or bibliography dialog only refers to level, not outline level. I'll click Cancel to close this dialog. Look at the table of contents. Notice that chapter numbers are shown before the text of the different headings. I'll right-click on the table of contents and select Edit Index. I'll go to the Type tab. I'll make sure Type is set to Table of Contents and Outline is selected in the Create From area. I'll go to the Entries tab. On this tab, only level is shown, not outline level. In the Structure area, I want you to notice the second symbol. When I place my mouse pointer over this, the tooltip reads Chapter Number. In other versions of LibreOffice Writer, the symbol may be a little different and the tooltip read Numbering. This means that chapter numbering is associated with the table of contents. I'll click Cancel to close the dialog. I'll go to Tools, Chapter Numbering to open the chapter numbering dialog. This may be called heading numbering if you have a newer version of LibreOffice. I'll go to the Position tab. Only level is displayed. I'll go to the Numbering tab. Only level is shown here. Notice in the Preview area that the paragraph styles heading 1 through heading 10 are, by default, associated with these levels. With level 1 selected, number is set to 1, 2, 3. I'll set this to None. I'll delete the period beside after. I'll click OK. The number no longer appears beside heading 1 in the text of the document. The first 1 and period are removed from the heading 2 and heading 3 as well. But all of the numbers still appear in the table of contents. That is because the table of contents does not automatically update when changes are made in the chapter numbering dialog. I'll right-click in the table of contents and select Update Index. The numbers beside the headings in the table of contents now match those in the document text. Remember, chapter numbering levels are associated with the levels in the table of contents, index, or bibliography dialog. But what if I want the number to show in the document text, but not in the table of contents? I'll go to Tools, Chapter Numbering, to open the chapter numbering dialog again. I'll go to the Numbering tab. I'll make sure level 1 is selected. I'll set Number back to 1, 2, 3. In the box beside after, I'll type a period. I'll click OK. The number appears before heading 1 in the document, and the numbers before the other headings are updated. I'll right-click in the table of contents and select Update Index. The numbers in the table of contents are updated. To get the number not to appear in the table of contents, I'll right-click on the table of contents and select Edit Index. I'll go to the Entries tab. With level 1 selected, I'll select the chapter numbering icon in the Structure area. I'll hit my Delete key. I'll click OK. The table of contents is automatically updated. This time, the number no longer appears before heading 1, but the other numbers maintain their leading 1 and period. You can use the settings in the chapter numbering dialog to change what paragraph style is associated with that level in the dialog. I'll talk about that more in videos relating directly to chapter numbering. Later, I'll show you how to quickly use the relationships between the dialogs to style both the document and the table of contents. First, I want to show you how you can easily get confused if you do not understand how the levels in the different dialogs relate to one another. I'll begin by going to File, Reload, to make sure I'm starting from the unedited sample document. I'll place the cursor in the document title. In the sidebar, I'll right-click on Title and select Modify. I'll go to the Outline and List tab. I'll click on the down arrow of the drop-down box beside Outline Level. I want the title in the document text to be included in the table of contents, so I'll choose Level 1 and click OK. I'll right-click on the table of contents and select Update Index. Title now appears as a listing in the table of contents. Title appears at the top because it appears first in the document. I seem to have achieved my goal. I'll right-click in the table of contents again and select Edit Index. I'll go to the Type tab. Nothing seems to have changed in the preview area. Watch what happens if I deselect Outline in the Create From area. A new item entry appears in the preview area. I'll go to the Entries tab. There are still only 10 levels showing in the Levels area. How would I go about removing the page number from the title listing in the table of contents? I associated the title paragraph style with Level 1. So with Level 1 highlighted, I'll select the page number symbol in the Structure area. Watch the Preview area as I hit my Delete key. The page number beside entry in the Preview area disappears. That seems to have worked. I'll click OK. Everything in the table of contents has disappeared except the table of contents title. Evidently, that's not the right thing to do. With the cursor over the table of contents title, I'll right-click and select Edit Index. I'll go to the Entries tab. With Level 1 highlighted, I'll place the cursor between T and LE in the Structure area. I'll click Page Number to put the page number symbol back in the Structure area. The page number appears once more in the Preview area. I'll click OK. The entries for the table of contents are still missing. I'll right-click on the table of contents title and select Update Index. Nothing happens. I'll right-click again and select Edit Index. You can see how confusing this can get. All the entries are displayed in the Preview area. I'll go to the Type tab. Neither outline nor additional styles are selected, but entry still appears in the Preview area. I'll select Additional Styles and click OK. The entries still don't appear. I'll right-click on the table of contents title and select Update Index. Still nothing happens. I'll right-click again and select Edit Index. I'll go to the Type tab. Additional Styles has become deselected, but entry is still shown in the Preview area. If I select Outline in the Create From area, entry disappears from the Preview area. If I select both Outline and Additional Styles, entry is not shown. If I deselect Outline, entry appears once more in the Preview area. But I know that doesn't work. You could spend hours of frustrating work trying multiple variations. There are several ways I could get the results I want, but most involve changes in various dialogues. Once you know how the different dialogues and levels are related, the most efficient way to get what you want is to design the original document differently. I'll close this dialog. I'll go to a document that looks similar but was styled differently. In this document, I used the heading 1 paragraph style for the document title. I reserved the title paragraph style for a title that won't appear in the table of contents, such as the title of a book. For the first level heading in the text, I used the heading 2 paragraph style. For the second level heading, I used the heading 3 paragraph style. For the third level heading, I used the heading 4 paragraph style. I adjusted the font settings in the dialogues of the different paragraph styles to get the appearance you see. Since I used the heading 1 paragraph style for title, it appears in the table of contents listings by default. I don't need to do anything special to include it. I'll begin by going to Tools, Chapter Numbering. I'll go to the Numbering tab. I'll go to Level 1. I'll make sure Number is set to None so no number appears. Heading 1 will still be used in the Table of Contents Index or Bibliography dialog, but without the number. I'll go to Level 2. For Number, I'll select 1, 2, 3. This is the first level I want numbered, so for Show Sublevels, I'll select 1. In the box beside After, I'll type a period. I'll go to Level 3. For Number, I'll select 1, 2, 3. This is the second level I want numbered, so for Show Sublevels, I'll select 2. In the box beside After, I'll type a period. I'll go to Level 4. For Number, I'll select 1, 2, 3. This is the third level I want numbered, so for Show Sublevels, I'll select 3. In the box beside After, I'll type a period. I'll go to the Position tab. First, I'll select 1 through 10 in the level area, so the settings I make here will apply to all levels. I'll click Default, so I only need to make one change. I'll set Numbering followed by to space. I'll leave it at that for now and click OK. The numbers appeared before the headings in the document, except heading 1, which is the title of the document. I'll right-click in the table of contents and select Update Index. The numbers appear before all the listings except title. I'll place the cursor in the table of contents title. I'll right-click on Contents level in the sidebar and select Modify. I'll go to the Alignment tab. I'll select Center. I'll go to the Font tab. I'll change the font size to 20 points. I'll go to the Font Effects tab. I'll pick a font color of dark blue 1. I'll click OK. I'll place the cursor in the title listing in the table of contents. I'll right-click on Contents 1 in the sidebar and select Modify. I'll go to the Font tab. I'll change the style to bold. I'll go to the Font Effects tab. I'll set underlining to bold. I'll click OK. I'll right-click on the table of contents and select Edit Index. I'll go to the Entries tab. I'll select Level 1. In the Structure area, I'll select the Tab Stop icon. In the area below, I'll change Fill Character to Nothing. I'll click OK to save my changes and close the dialog. See how fast you can make changes if you have a proper understanding of how levels in the various dialogues are related and you set your document up properly to begin with. If you want the different heading levels in the body of the document to be indented so the number of the next level is aligned with the text of the preceding level, you should realize that this will take some work. The alignment will depend on how many digits are used in the number of the preceding level. The font and font size will affect this alignment as well. If you do want to try this, I want to give you one important caution. Make certain that all of the settings in the indent area of the Indents and Spacing tab of the Heading Paragraph Style dialog are set to 0. If they have ever been changed and reset to 0 manually, you will still have problems. To be super careful, click the Reset to Parent button at the bottom of the tab, and then reset any of the settings outside of the indent area. Once you've done this, you can set your indent spacing using Align At in the Position tab of the Chapter Numbering dialog. LibreOffice Writer enables you to create elaborate page designs, but you will need to put in extra effort to get things looking the way you want. Understanding the relationship between levels in the different dialogues gives you a good foundation to start with. Having a knowledge of these relationships will save you a lot of time and frustration. Click More in the gray area beneath this video to find links to my other videos and courses.